So you guys all got a bag of Legos. Thanks for following directions over here. You're good. All right. So you have a bag of Legos. We've all played Legos, right? We know what it is. It's blocks. All right. I'm Megan, by the way, for the newer people here. I've helped build operational systems, and I make it at a really fun Barney level because that's where we want to hang out. Tired of the thinking. All right. So you got your package. You cannot use your phones. Okay, so you can't use your phones to look it up. You'll not get any hints from me. There's no help from any other group. You have to stay in your own group. And there cannot be a leader. You guys all have to work at the same level, same communication. Everybody has to have a say in how this is going to happen. So you have to agree on what Lego goes where to build a car. All right? I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to start, just to get the foundation. Let me see you try and build a car in 3 minutes with these rules.
All right, here we go.
Everybody has to have an input.
That's a good find. It's crucial.
1 minute left. 1 minute left. All right, hands up. Nope, don't touch it. Hands up. Hands up. Can't touch it. Show off your work. So this table, let's show off your work. Good, we got a little base there. We got wheels put together.
The wheels just wouldn't stay on the axles.
Okay, good. We got a good start. Let's see what you guys got.
We got the wheels and we got the body.
The wheels and the body. All right, this table, what do you have? It's conceptualized.
We have the wheels. We have the wheels. Wheels on axles.
Perfect. Hands up. All right, what was missing from this process when you're normally building? Instructions? What? Picture. What else?
I think there's a missing piece, but this was me.
Expertise. I'll probably spell that wrong. 5-year-olds. This table that's working on it right now, what's missing? You're just trying to solve the problem. All right. So you're being a problem solver. And you also need a process. All right. So if you need this to build Legos, go ahead.
The last thing I said is it would be way easier if we
Rolls. Woo! You need all this to build Legos? You are building a car. What? What'd you say?
I was asking, do we need what to do with Legos?
What to build? Oh, like the picture?
No, I was asking what you said.
Oh, okay. Oh, just saying, that's everything that we need to build Legos. All right, so without any of that stuff, it was near impossible to build the foundation. You don't even know what the car is you're building. Crash testing. I like some testing. Okay. All right, so testing, the review. All right, so we went over all these things on what was missing through this process, and now we wonder why our business is just jumping around. Kind of get in, don't know what we're doing today, don't know who's doing what, where, when, and we wonder why we're not getting the results that we want. And for my co-founders especially, have you guys even talked about what you each want from the business? So I separated you guys purposefully because a lot of co-founders, I know me with my co-founder, we can give each other a look and we kind of float together. So that's why you guys are separated. But have you guys actually had the conversation of what your business is going to look like? Or is it just kind of in the air floating as you figure it out? So we're going to walk through step by step, building your business and your operational systems with these Legos today. So you guys will get to continue to play along. Now you get to make a choice. Oh, sorry. You get to make a choice of which Lego set you are going to be building. There's 3 options that you could build out of this set. It's a 3-in-1 for my Lego people. So choose one. Show me which one. Show me which one you're building. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Once you have it, once you know which one you're building, pick it up. You as a team have to decide. Which one is that? The tractor thing? Okay, cool. We got one. Don't start yet. Don't touch anything. Don't start yet. Don't start yet. Don't get ahead. It's not a race. I promise you'll have time to build your Lego set. Promise. This next time you'll get more time. Did everybody choose what they're building, their vision, their plan? Did they create? Did you guys agree on the vision? Yes? Yes? You guys agree on the vision? All right. Which one are you doing? The race car?
We're doing the race car, yes.
Okay. You want me to take these out of the way? Okay. Race car, tractor. Give me the other 2 books so they're out of your way. And then which one are you guys doing?
Tractor, right? Excavator.
Oh, excavator.
We were thinking tractor until we may have changed. Why?
You changed?
Why did we change?
Oh, we're not clear on the vision?
The vision may have adjusted. We've got new information. We've got new information. Don't call it pivot. This is 36 steps.
All right.
4 steps. Okay, yeah, we're going with this guy. But it's not a race, apparently.
It's not a race. You'll have time to build it. I promise.
I still like the middle.
Can we have the excavator back?
Excavator. All right. We're not starting yet.
No,
All right. So now, before we start, we now have a vision, right? We know what we're actually building this time. You guys all know what you're actually building this time. So we get to mark this one off. Now we have instructions and processes, right? Now who's doing what? So each person needs a job at the table. We are not going to just all throw our hands in and all have a say in what happens. So some of the jobs could be the organizer, the sorter. It could be, you can be the direction guide person. So I want one person that's guiding the team with the directions. One person who's actually putting the pieces together. And then the 4th person can work with the organizer. The 4th person can work with the putter together person. Whatever you guys kind of see fit for your team. So we're going to round table at who's doing what, so I know. This table, who's doing what? Sorter. Builder. Okay. Book. Instructor. So you'll have the book. So they can't see the book. You have to hide the book. Yeah. So yep. All right. Go ahead. What's each? So we have the book, the instructor. Organizing. Organizer. You must be a builder. Perfect. All right. Who's the instruction guide?
I'm the instruction guy.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 organizers and 2 builders.
Okay, so the instruction guides, thank you. The instruction guides, you cannot show the builders or the organizers what they have to do. You have to explain it using your communication and using all the ways, like a kind of Pictionary game thing, how you can explain in the best words possible how to get to the next level. So now we've actually established roles. We've established the roles. We have everybody in their correct expertise. Ooh, and just like your business, now you can build. Go ahead and build. No. All right, we're going to take a pause break real quick. For my organizers, I'm going to go table to table organizers. How did you organize? How did you organize?
Colors.
By colors.
And then as soon as the colors are done, I'm going to go into the types.
Colors then types. So we have one person who organizes colors and types. How are you guys organizing?
By colors and types.
Colors, types, spreading it out, getting good eyesight. How are you guys organizing? Colors, types, spreading it all out. You see? We're all doing the same thing, different ways.
Okay, so then the next piece, we need another black staircase. That's going to go at the end of the long white piece. So the underneath, down below again. Perfect. We then need the 2x4
My instruction manual people, my instructors, how are you doing?
Great.
How is this? How's your communication?
I'll let them be the judge of that.
How is he doing, team? 10 out of 10? Would it be easier if he showed you how to do it?
It could potentially be easier, but actually, I don't think it is.
No.
I think he's doing a good job, and it maybe would slow us down if it was me.
Okay. I like that one.
Get some reds.
Would it help you guys if you guys could see the manual?
Very much so.
Very much.
white corner piece edges that look like almost like they would be on the front of a car.
What-
The four walnut.
Would it help you guys if you could see the manual? Yeah. So this is what happens. Hey, pause, hands up. This is what happens when a CEO holds on to all the tasks and doesn't explain to people how to do their job. Right? You're trying to micromanage everything as the instructor. So now what we're going to do, the instructors are now going to be able to share the information and not be information hoarders and see how fast this could really get done now. All right, now you can lay down the book, show them, and everybody can work together based off your jobs.
Okay, so now this is going to be a lot easier. So you have these two pieces.
All right, we're going to start working on this together. You guys can keep working our race car. Are they actually done? Good? All right. So, now we're clear. Your business needs a vision, org chart, workflow. You need to build it, and you need to test it. At the testing phase, did everybody's test go perfect? No? Did your guys go perfect? No. So we got stuck here, somewhere around workflow and build, right? Something didn't go right here because when we tested, it didn't come through correctly. Group 1 and group 3.
I was going to say, don't call it out there.
Group 1 and group 3, right? So often when we look at the test going wrong, we may go 1 or 2 steps back. But what you guys found yourselves doing inside the book was going quite a few steps back, right? Yeah? You know, in your business, though, you only go like, oh, it must have been that one email. I can't help it. It's all right. You guys, it's all right.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're satisfied.
It might take time, but if
So when you guys did your build, how many steps back did you have to go when you guys found a mess up?
It was usually just one page.
Yeah.
One page?
Roughly 1 page, yeah.
Ish? Good. Okay. That means you caught it early on. Your systems are good. You guys, you're spot on. When you guys have a mess up, how many pages did you guys have to go back?
We didn't go back. We saw where we messed up, and we just adjusted real quick and kept pushing.
Okay. We'll see if the car moves.
Our car will go the furthest, last will go the furthest. Where's the race car?
The race car one?
Where's the race car now? This is a challenge now.
Right here.
She said she chose the most difficult one.
Nope, it's the quad. That one.
Is that the race car?
No.
Oh, that's the quad.
There we
That's
go.
the race car.
Okay. All right, was the vision clear the second time?
Yes.
You knew exactly what you were building when you were building it?
Oh, we're gonna tweak it?
No. Org chart. The org chart was clear. Who did what when, right? When we released the book for the instructor to actually give you guys, was that a lot easier?
Yes.
Yes? Communication was still great, 10 out of 10, but it was still easier with the book?
Those later steps would have been pretty difficult without the book.
Okay, all right. Then you have your workflow, which is the book. What happens when? Steps, the processes, the boring stuff people don't want to document. This is why documentation is important, so that you have it when things get hard and when your CEO or whoever your instructor is has to actually hand off the task. They got to hand over the book, and they got to enjoy and hang out with the team and work with the team and do what they want, right? And then you have your building process, so our builders, our integrators, our COOs. The building process, it may take a while depending on whatever the vision was, but it got done. Almost got done over there. It got done, right? Because there was a clear vision, there was clear jobs, and there was a clear process. And then when you tested it, some people found one Lego put the wrong way, or multiple Legos put the wrong way, whatever, and you just tested it and went right back up here so that you could build and then get the results, right? So why aren't you doing this in your business? That's an open-ended question. What? No?
Julius, I haven't heard you answer anything yet. You are definitely the process guy.
But are you ranking the priority tasks? So how can your whole team get on the same page if you don't have a clear vision that everyone's behind? So there's not clear direction. So the vision's great. There's too many chefs in the kitchen. And when you have too many chefs in the kitchen, this workflow can't happen properly, right? Imagine if I had you all as builders and not one instructor, one organizer, and one builder. So your hierarchy, there's something going on here where too many people think that they have an opinion. And the people who have an opinion may be sharing it, but it may not be getting listened to. So visit this in your business. And then work through the process. So, okay, now we have an org chart. Now we know what we need to hand off and why we need to hand it off because of the jobs. And then how does this process actually get handed off? What are the processes? Who does what when? If this happens, then this happens. Those are the two things you want to repeat over and over and over to yourself, through your business, every single day. I want to hand off a task. Well, is it on the org chart? We're not doing an org chart just like this. I want to actually know who it is and then their actual tasks. What are their tasks? Their high dollar figure tasks. The tasks that are going to move the needle forward. We want this in each of our org charts because you may not have a COO right now. You don't need a COO, potentially. Maybe you just need an integrator, a doer. That doer is going to be in charge of a lot of other things, and as the company grows, you may need another person. You see how this org chart changes? If you don't have all this who does what when here listed out, you have too many chefs in the kitchen. The vision's the vision, but if everybody's moving in different directions, then you're not going to be able to move your business forward. Okay, we need to get him in line. We need to get him swimming in the same direction. So whoever the leader is needs to get him swimming in the same direction. That's the leader's job. It's not fun. It's part of being a leader. All right, next. Why is this not smooth in your business? So if your business is not running smoothly, just like when you put this together, why? Your vision, your org chart, your workflow, your build, and your testing. This is open. So this process. So inside of our business, this is the process. The same process we just used to build these cars. What are you stuck on in your business? And why aren't you getting to where you want to be? Communication. Communication between who? Internal. Are those two clear? Your vision and your org chart. They are clear? Then is your workflow clear? Then that's what we need to work on. If this happens, then this happens. Miro, Miro.com, free software. Put it together. Put your Miro board together. There's no reason for you not to have a detailed Miro board, especially you. You're an agency. You have to have a Miro board. Right? We went in depth on the workflows the last time I was here. So I didn't want this whole thing to be workflows again, but if you have questions on the workflow, let's go over it. Especially my agency service-based businesses. Those businesses have to have a workflow or else you'll never hand anything off, and it will always be up to assumption. And we all do things differently. Oh, okay, with yours. Oh yeah, so workflow. Get your workflow together. Mm-hmm.
What is your viewpoint? So let's just say that you put the workflow, you put the workflow in place, right? So that's communicated out. How does he leverage that to optimize?
Leverage the workflow. So you start getting rid of jobs. So you have a video media company, right? So it's video. Okay. So with your video photos, so you take one process. Ooh, I do the longest first, video, right? So video is normally the longest, and you'll break down the entire process. When you break down this entire process, I'm just gonna do like 1, 2, 3, right? You figure out what can be templated on the back side. So like we use ClickUp for that, and I have some clients who use Asana, some who use, those are my 2 ones that I'm gonna put out there.
Earlier today, we discussed it. Love to hear exactly how you use ClickUp.
ClickUp. All right, so ClickUp, they have amazing templates. Go look at their template section, especially for agencies. Okay, so the template, when we have a video client, we know that when this person, how do they sign up with you? Yeah. So then if I want to work with you, what's the next move? Do I click a link? Do I DM you? Do I get on a phone call? What happens? Phone call. So call. Then what happens on that call? So we skipped the part. You're doing all this before you get paid? Okay. I've hired a lot of videographers, and I don't do anything with them until I pay something. Yeah. So we'll do a call, and they'll say yes or no, they can do it, and then they'll send me a quote. So that should be the next step, quote, and then a percentage. Normally they'll ask for like a third or 50%, whatever, that they'll quote it. The most recent videographer I used, they did 50%. So then from here,
I think one of the things for them that's a little bit different actually is this isn't kind of a one-off. I'm going to come do something for $1,000 or $2,000.
Mhm.
That's kind of not the deal. So it's usually a bigger brand package.
mhm,
So I think in order to give a fair quote on a lot of these, there are some that fit that
mhm,
I think have the work that they do, but a lot of it is going to require kind of that second call because there's going to be more than one person on.
mhm.
That is going to be a little bit more of a discovery call.
So give me an example of that.
What about a university
Mhm,
that is going to hire them to actually not only do the video but do all of their social media? It's going to be a complete kind of end-to-end program, and that's pretty cool.
So are you doing social media content? Mhm. So is that one package or is that a reoccurring package?
It's like an annual contract or one.
Okay. So you're doing corporate contract. Okay. So it is, I will say it is a little bit harder with corporate contracts because every corporation has their own rules with that. So, but what you're going to do, so like this is going to be like the ideal process, right? Obviously yours is going to be a little bit different, but what you'll do is still in ClickUp, you'll take whatever has been your hardest project and build that as a template. So whatever your hardest project is, so call number 1, call number 2, call number 3, whatever has to happen. That's going to be your template. And then what's included in your template is like who you need to hire. They're like, I wouldn't do pay rates. I would do who you have to hire, whatever other steps there are that you have to go through to make sure that this contract can get secured, right? And so you have, hard to explain on here. So you have your buckets, which they're like the columns when you're in the like, Kanban style board. And you would have like step 1 or part 1, step 2, step 3. Each one of these are going to have a template. So this, when you do your workflow, you'll say like from here to here is step 1. So then you build that out, right? And then you add that as your template. And then in ClickUp, you could do an automation, which is in the top right-hand corner, that when this person moves to step 2, the template changes. So now you can have a new template of whatever the step 2 to the end of step 2 is. And you could have that all out. And then same thing for step 3. That's how I do it. And then if you have like this is an annual and then it goes to a reoccurring, like my podcast client. So she does a launch phase and then a reoccurring phase. So she follows the same process, but will just move they'll work on the launch list. Once launch happens, they'll archive that, and now they're in the reoccurring list. And now they just kind of work on a reoccurring basis there. You assign who does what when, there's due dates, all the same thing, but now it becomes a reoccurring process. So when you work on your workflow, you'll know that I took my most difficult one, wrote all the details, so now on my really simple ones, I get to get rid of a lot of this. Does that make sense? So that's how I would do it. And then in ClickUp, it's nice you have the automations like right within ClickUp. So then like based off where they're at, they can have different templates. You can assign different people, add due dates, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Talk about a couple of it.
Of course.
So the more like the individual contributors on each team,
Mhm.
when they're going to ClickUp, like where do they start? Like that, like home page,
So yeah. Let me connect my computer. This is gonna be really hard to explain. So I use it a little bit different. I know a lot of people do use like the Discovery, whatever. I don't like that. So I'll show you. Oh gosh, there's a password.
Oh, it's the number that's right there.
Nope. 3A. Thank you.
Don't tell anyone.
Yes, just make sure whichever cable is the appropriate
It's
one.
this one.
Just plug it in so it's made.
Here's the main. All right, ready? Maybe? Is it live? No. How do I get it to show up? Oh, thanks. Mm-mm.
You might have it. Oh, I know.
Oh, thank you. All right, there we go. So we have ClickUp. This is my ClickUp board. So inside of ClickUp, you ready? Get his attention. All right. Inside of ClickUp, how I'm using it is going to be just this everything tab. And the reason I like that is because it's just going to show everything. I actually have it set up so you can set it up here on the right-hand side on me mode. So on the assignees, it could come up as just the me. So it's everything I'm assigned to. It is my team's job to make sure I am assigned to that task if they want me to see it. If I'm not assigned, that's on them. And then what I'll also do, you can group by status. I actually go to the calendar view though normally. And then they lay out my calendar for me. And so, what will happen is I could see everything that I'm supposed to do that day, or they need an answer on, or something like that. So, granted, this is my assistant who lays it out, and even if she does it on Sundays, what I would have do before this, I would just move each project to the days, so I just follow my calendar. And then my team does the same thing. So they put it on me mode, and same thing. My responsibility to tag them and add a due date. So it shows up on your calendar with a due date. That's how it gets on there, and that's how we use it. So it's very simple, but they use the same things across the board on how we all use everything. Okay, so my spaces, so I have like my private like area so that I can just add reminders and things like that, which I don't know how you guys are. For me as a CEO, like there's not really privacy at all, so there's not much on that board. Then I have my leadership communication. So this is where we had like our KPIs, our audits, annual calendars, all this fun stuff. So then we all have our own folders. So for me, I have just my CEO tasks and my brain dump. So I come in here every day and I'm supposed to put everything that's on my mind, and my COO will actually come in here and make sure I delegated everything. If I don't delegate it, if it's not assigned to somebody with a due date, then I get called out for that. Like, why is this not assigned? Who does this? Why are you holding on to it? You work for your COO. Just like complete transparency. You work for them. You may pay the bills, but you work for your COO. So just all the things that I have to check in on daily. So you can see hers is really detailed. She's a very detailed person. If my folder looked like this, I would literally not be able to function. Yes. anything I need to work on will have me and a due date, and it'll be on my calendar. So she kind of does that. So what I'll do is come in here in my brain dump, and I just click new task, and I just like blast off everything that I have on tasks that are on my mind, and then we'll go and organize it. So you can see like I have like different items, and then I'll either me or her will come and organize it into the different things. And if it's still on here, it's because it's something I actually have to do. Right? And you can see there's no due dates here because they have to assign that to me.
So, do you take stuff like, okay, I've just wrote down like 20 things, and at the end of the week, you're like, all right, realistically, those 10 of those 20 things have this week.
Hold on, guys, hold on. What?
So, like, you're just brain dumping all this
Mhm.
information, and realistically, half of that stuff should have no business being on your card.
Yes.
For the next 90 days. So,
Well, a lot of times even so we have it listed out, right? So we have like open, that's just my brain dump. Then like Megan to do, this means it's been assigned to me. We've talked about it. In progress is things that either they're waiting on me for an answer and it's done, like my team has done it, they're waiting on me, or like they took that from me and they gave it their best shot, which happens a lot. And then operations is like just operational items for me. Ideas are the big picture ideas, things like that for here. And then we do a weekly meeting, me and my COO, and if we agree that it's something that we need to push out, we put it in the tabled section. And so if it's in the tabled section, then I don't have to look at it, and then notes is just like spots where I keep links and things like that. So yeah, so I really focus on the top. So not on projects. So my team checks in on Slack, like good morning, good evening, whatever, like we're out, we're sick. They do that in Slack, but they are not to talk about projects in Slack because that's how it'll get lost. So they have to talk about it in ClickUp. And Slack and ClickUp have a direct integration, so even if they do, or you're on the go and it's hard for you to add a task in ClickUp, you could add it in Slack, and they know if I add a task in Slack, they turn it into a ClickUp task. And it's just like /task, and then that's it. Now it goes to the right spot.
so talking to Joe about what I use ClickUp also,
Mhm.
understanding how like I use things to simplify the brain dump in that
Mhm.
moment, because I get so caught up in the organization of where is this going to go. To your point, which is what the COO handles for you.
Yeah.
Brain dump in one place.
But you are the COO.
Yes.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
It is a problem. So like that's kind of where I completely will lose the thought that I'm trying to write down because I'll spend 5 minutes trying to focus the thought.
Yeah, so she uses her notepad just on Mac for that, and then she'll bring it over like after she's done her organizational things. But how I would suggest using too, like how I implemented in another business, is it's literally just the shared link inside of a card in ClickUp. And then that way, whoever needs access, they can do that. Maybe you get a VA for a $3 an hour, $4 hour VA, and they come in and they move everything over into a task. And then they determine where it needs to go so that you can focus on what you're supposed to focus on. And then they assign to you what needs to happen when.
So not trying to confuse them. Why would she use the twos list instead of the doc list?
So this is what we were fighting with my other client. We're trying to figure out. So it's actually the docs in ClickUp. I think that I have no proof of this. I think that when you use docs too much, it starts to weigh down the software and it's slow. So that's why I think my ClickUp slows down. So we're actually moving a lot of our stuff that are on docs off. Like I think that they didn't have the memory for when they rolled that out, and they keep rolling out new features, and I don't think that they have the space for it, the bandwidth. And this is all just my assumption.
I use docs. I use the
Where
docs.
do you kind of see this? So but actually that could be the case.
Mhm.
Because if everything's searchable, right, it all has to get indexed.
Mhm.
So if it's all being indexed, then that absolutely can.
Yeah, so the only thing that we're going to use our docs for, so you can see there's like a lot in here, right? So my team meeting is still going to be inside of ClickUp, and it's just because I have every team meeting documented in here. And then we have the ability to add it, make it a task, right? Or talk about a task or reference a task, things like that. So that's the only reason that we're keeping meetings inside of ClickUp. Other than that, like any of the documents that are in here, if they haven't been moved out, they are being moved out. And we're just going to do links.
Where are you
Google Drive. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Because that's where we were originally, and then we moved everything over once they like got really confident with Docs, and then my ClickUps got so slow, and I was like, "There's absolutely no way." Then look at like my audience; they're overwhelmed CEOs. They can't figure out how to use ClickUp. Like they're overwhelmed. They need a Google Doc.
I feel like ClickUp is it's like good at a lot of things, not
Mhm.
like incredibly great at anything except for the tasks and the priorities.
Mhm.
The ability to organize that and then tying it into the doc space.
Yeah, but like even Canva's getting into doc space. Like you have a lot of softwares trying to do the same thing to compete for attention.
AI product that you can plug in there and say like, oh look, you should use
Yeah,
this for this. Like, why would you do that?
exactly.
It's not built for that.
And yeah, and so I believe have like very strongly and use the tools and how they're built and how they're supposed to be used. Not this like one tool for all. I try and limit at the amount of tools for sure because that gets really expensive. But like if I can optimize ClickUp as much as possible and my client doesn't struggle in trying to get into ClickUp, it's a win-win situation if I use Google Doc. I hate Google Doc. I think it's awful because I can't organize it. But
That's also part of it. It's like you're trying to build out like a knowledge base at the same time.
mhm. What is the knowledge base that you're building though?
More internal resources.
Okay, so we use how Scribe for that. Yeah, House Scribe. And the reason we use that is because when I could turn on a Loom, so I use Loom and then I turn on Scribe. And with both of those going, they're going to take pictures of my screen as I move through. And now I just made an SOP in 5 minutes when I was recording it. Yeah.
I'm more thinking like I guess this is what I use for conflicts, and that just
I haven't seen that one.
it's an Atlassian product.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
inexpensive at all. It's very expensive,
Yeah.
but it's very good.
But
Hmm.
it's really just from like I need to search pretty much every internal document that we have
Mhm.
company wise, and then my search results come up and I see okay this is on the implementation team space, so this is probably what I'm representing.
Mm.
Being able to get to that, it could be described right there
Yeah.
on that page,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then it's linked to other pages within that essentially.
Yeah. Just make sure you make it as simple as possible. Yeah. You built HubSpot. You're very techy. I trust that about you.
Software, though, like your products are extremely well designed.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't
Atlas,
seem
but I mean,
incredibly
you
Yeah.
pay for that. At the end of the day, I mean, they're really designed for big enterprises.
Yeah. But can you use could you use Trainual for that?
Is that like an LMS?
No, it's like a internal. I've never seen the software you're talking about, but it sounds like something Trainual would do. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not big on having a whole bunch of softwares. It's like use what you have. List out what you have. How can you use it? So.
That's kind of where Will and I are at. We feel like we're like, do we have too many? Do we have too little?
So list out. So every quarter I go through my softwares with my COO because I have to add them to the payment calendar, which she can see because I have zero privacy. And we kind of look at that, like, do we actually need that? Like, was that a spur of the moment? And you decided you needed a software moment.
Not in terms of that. In terms of like when you talk, for example, like time, like save time.
Yeah.
How, is there? We're using this, but there's something that could be better.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to go straight Google and be free, you can do a Google site as well. That's actually what we started building for clients because ClickUp was so difficult for them. It was crazy. Hold on, let me see if I can get out of here.
Google has clients by default as today you can buy the subscription for $6 a month for each person.
Mhm.
It's so cheap. And it's effective for certain things, but there's some other stuff in there that you can never pay.
There's a lot that's not that great. Yeah, there's a lot I wouldn't suggest, and I normally wouldn't share this actually. But what we have found with clients is that's like we had to make it as simple as possible. And even though I would love all the tech and all the automations and all the greatness, if they're not going to look at it, then what good is it? And so when we looked at our audience, we looked at the vision, we looked at everything that we want. How can I get those results? If I have to do a stupid Google site for links for them. Like, that, it is what it is. And we literally had to get on a call with every client and make them pin this site so that they have access to everything. Like, it sounds crazy, but they're so overwhelmed by the time we're working with them a lot that they're like, I can't think about this. Like, I can't do this. I can't do that. And then, sorry, I don't know what is taking it so long. And so they've pinned the site. It's literally the same site, and we just connect a different link for them, each client, right? So, but how you're thinking, like, okay, if you want to use Google and don't want any softwares, then just link it all out in here. So my COO loves Notion. I've never been in there. She loves it though. And for social media content, I heard that they're adding AI soon. Yeah. But specifically, like, how they're adding it is for content creation. So, like, this is just a site, and it's literally the same links in every single one of them, except they have a living an agenda, which we used to do in ClickUp, but they would never go into it, even in their own ClickUp. We would literally log into their ClickUp and make an agenda, and they wouldn't sign in. So now we use a Google Doc here. And now we keep notes for them. That's it. Right? So it's going back to the basics of what is the vision, how's the workflow, how's this going to work. Do I agree with it? No, absolutely not. But it works. And it's pinned on all their dashboards. They all use the right links. They all know where everything is. And now we're good. So you just have to figure that out for your business. And before you, because you and I are techie, we're techie. We want it nice. We want the finer things in tech. But what do you need? And what is going to get you to the vision? Could the $2,000 that you're going to pay for the annual subscription, could that be used for marketing dollars? So it's really debating on what's a need versus a want. And that's the hardest conversation. I'm speaking from experience on this. That is the hardest conversation to have as somebody who wants it to look better than this. All right. I don't know how we got off on that, but ClickUp. We went down the ClickUp rabbit hole, yeah. So that's ClickUp. Oh, and then I just do my notifications. I don't log in anywhere. You have assigned to me in my mentins. My goal is to get through those every day. I could count probably on one hand how often I get that done. Oh, probably. I normally don't use my computer this, actually. I have a desktop at home, like a big, nice thing. I go to ClickUp. Yeah. But I have this is just my, like, on the go. Acting like I could actually do something when I work at Starbucks. The what extension? Oh, the twos? I could do that. I'm trying to stay consistent on my brain dumps, Bing and ClickUp. But I don't know, probably. Basics. All right. What other questions do we have? I don't know. Are we very clear on the process? Are we clear on the process, everyone? That's under here? I touched off.
I'm not working.
So where you're at in your business, it's clear what needs to be done, right? All right. And then this, I actually had a client bring this to my attention. I've been trying to explain to people what building systems and the operations of your business is like on an emotional level, because I've had only one client in all the years I've done this, one client who got stuck at denial and literally left. She offboarded there because it was too much. Like, she wanted her business to just stay how it was because she felt like working 30, 40, 50, 60, she was working all hours of the night. She thought that was okay, that she was just like, eventually there will be an end to this. And so she off-boarded. But other than that, every client has made it through here. And I have a client who's like very in touch with like being able to communicate her feelings on this. And she was like, you have to tell your clients that there's a process to this systems, because she's like, there's a very clear process, and I remember each phase of it as we were going through it. And I was like, all right, tell me all about this. And so I was telling her that I was making you guys build Legos today. And she was like, oh, that's interesting. Make sure to tell them about the emotional sacrifices that we have made by building systems. And I was like, all right, we're going to talk about this. So you have the initial pain. There's a pain point of that, okay, I need systems. Something has to change. Something's got to give because I can't keep going. Then normally when you hire somebody, sometimes you'll have it internally, is the denial of, I don't actually need to make changes. I don't actually need to build this. I can just keep going in the chaos that I am. Kind of like if we didn't have an organizer building the Legos. Like, I built this the first time, I could keep winging it type of thought process, which her denial was very intense. So I think that's why it was big. Like, it was very intense on how she had lost somebody on her team at the same time that she was going through the denial phase, which made it seem like it was so much bigger than it was. Somebody who was literally on her team for less than 2 weeks. When she lost him, she thought the world crumbled. I was like, he hasn't even made an impact yet. Calm down. Like, we need to get here. And then just accepting that there is a process, accepting that the first time how you built your business, how you built your systems wasn't it, and now we're fixing it, and then the peace and release. And so now that she has made it here, she's like, I'm glad you fought me through all this. But
You can stay in that denial state if you never want to stay back.
you can, yeah, yep. And that's exactly where our friends stayed. And everybody has gone through this, whether I'm overseeing you build it in your business, whether I'm helping you with it. Literally every client has gone through that. Yeah, yep. So I wanted to just share that with you because it is not always a beautiful process. I'm actually rebuilding my own systems right now. And I hired somebody to do the things that I don't like doing, so like messaging, like the look, all that stuff. I hate all of that. And I was on the call earlier this week on Monday, and I was writing my COO on Slack as we're on the call, and I'm like, this is miserable. Get me off. Like, figure out how to get me out of here. And it was just going through this, and as I've talked to her and things have come up, she was like, yeah, I already corrected that. Like, I already told her what you actually meant when you said that. I'm like, yeah, that's because I was in denial of, like, I don't want to add anything. It sounded like too much because I was trying to, like, in my mind, I'm thinking of what systems have to be built, who has to be hired, what the cost of it is. I'm thinking all logically about this. I'm like, there's no way I'm adding this. And then after I think about it, I'm like, dang, that's really easy to add, and it's easy to scale, and it's literally one thing different that we do. But while I'm in the moment and I'm feeling the pain and the denial of this, like, you stay and do stupid things around this time, okay? It is. It's a lot of work, and there's like it's like a living and breathing thing that you have to keep kind of editing and paying attention to, and that's the importance of having a workflow. So I have my workflow. I remember how I built it prior, even though I haven't thought about how I actually built it, like in years since I built it, but I have the workflow. I know what I need to change. I know what links need to be updated. I know who I need to tell because they were doing that job. It makes the process a lot easier when you have a workflow. Right? And then when we do that, we just adjust the org chart. Now, like for us, we did, for our sales pipeline, I just did it in ClickUp through a Zap, through Calendly, Zapier, zapped it over, whatever, managed it all through there. And then now with our new process and our new offer, we're going to have a lot higher volume. So now I'm going to have to use Pipedrive, move to Pipedrive. You're already in HubSpot, which is great. It's even better. But like Pipedrive's our next level of where I want to go. So now I'm building that out. I use ActiveCampaign for email. I don't want to use ActiveCampaign anymore. I'm just upgrading Pipedrive. Now it's all going to be in one software. I got a sales process and an email process in one software. So even though it's an ugly process, I'm actually now getting rid of a cost and I'm making it more seamless. That's the next level. So, but that workflow, having it built out in the Miro makes it very possible to do very quickly. I'll be able to rebuild my whole business now that I have the vision because that lady worked with me on it. Now that I have the vision and the new offers and how we're rolling things out, we just have to make a little update on the workflow, me and my COO, which we have a meeting on, and then I'll probably build out my own system. I don't like waiting for my team. So I'll build out my own system probably this weekend. And I'll be done. And I'll update the workflow and we're done. Painful for a day. Miro, Figma, anything that's like a workflow type of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So visually, it'll be my whole. Actually, it's a lot of process. Yeah. Oh no. Miro we just use for the visual, and then I'll link out. I'll add links to like whatever the landing page is, the videos that we use. Like if it's a video that gets distributed in an email, the email will be in there as well as the video that we use. So if I have to update anything, then I can always update it. Mhm. Yeah, whiteboard. Yeah, OmniView. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's how we use it with clients too. Because I don't want to have to go in there and see like the whole day to day of every single client. Instead, I get to look at their Miro, and I could see what happens when. And as my team makes changes, as the client makes changes, they're supposed to be updating the Miro board. So we normally build it, so I'll build like my vision off of what they give me, and then I'll let them explain to me. Yeah, just so I could think through it without them talking. And then they'll make edits. And so then it's like this is what it's going to look like. And then my COO and my team come in, and they'll break it down like step by step by step by step. I don't get lost in those details. Yeah, it's loading. I've had some issues loading Miro on this computer for some reason. Let me get on the incognito window. Okay. Oh gosh. I don't know my password, guys. Sorry. Ooh, and I'm not the administrator. It's telling me what to do. That'd be good. Yeah, that's her old ones. So these are her new ones with her new packages. So it literally walks you through step by step. This was a whiteboarding session. So I've sometimes my clients, if they're like really stuck, they'll come here to Tampa and we'll sit and do like a whiteboarding session and figure out what they want. And so she was stuck. Her offer is a really high package offer, and she saw a shift in the market and how fast people wanted to. This is a brand designer. She saw how fast people were wanting things, and she had initially done really long packages on the online space. And so we created 3 different options. So green, purple, and red, which those literally just match the markers. There's no part to it, yeah. And we walk through, like the client fills out the intake form. And this is an automated part of the process. The client will receive a welcome email with the pre-work questionnaire. The pre-work questionnaire is I think she uses Typeform for it. I prefer paper form personally, but she uses Typeform, I think. Did the client answer the questions, yes or no? If no, automated, they'll get a reminder every 48 hours. If yes, then the team will receive the brand videos, access to the photo gallery from the client. And then they'll go through the whole process, and it's automated on what happens when. Each part of the offer. This is what I'm saying, for you to grab your most difficult offer. That's what we're gonna look. So this one's her easiest to offer, but automated. This is all automated. And the reason we document it when it's automated is so that if we need something, then or something breaks or somebody didn't get an email or something, we could see exactly in the process what happened. If the email needs to be updated, we'll know where the email's at in the process. And then we can also now know, based off of this, how long her process is. So we know that this phase is 6 weeks. We know this one's 2 to 3 weeks. This phase is 4 to 6 weeks. And then they get deliverables. Right? Her systems aren't finished yet. So this will probably even get more detailed once her systems are finished. This is just what they've built so far. And then once it's all built, we'll record SOPs, and the link to the scribe, because we use scribe for SOPs, the link to the scribe will be inserted above the box, so that anybody can come in here. If you got hit by a bus tomorrow, somebody could open up Miro and have literally everything that they need to run this business and keep it going consistently and efficiently. So, yeah, that's what I mean when I say use Miro. And this can start to feel really redundant. So I start with a really big detailed one and then copy it, delete. Copy it, delete. If you have other packages, like whatever packages offers you have. So, yeah. And I can show you another one. So these are the workflows I personally like. I have other clients, like clients that we oversee their team. And so their operations, they built it a different way. We all have preferences. So, like this one, this is what hers started out with. This is the conversation with me and her, and this is as simple as she said the systems were going to be. Yes, no, maybes. This is the whole package, right? That was her first call. Really, really simple. Then this was the next version. Once her COO got involved. The actual process of what happens in the days. And she was wondering why, at this point, she was wondering why they weren't launching in 30 days. Well, when we wrote out step by step and who we were waiting on, it was clear that 30 days was the minimum. And she was wondering why clients were getting mad and things were getting backed up. Right? So now, what happens. We just let people go wild on it. Okay. This was, we just came back into their team. This is what they built. And each dot is a different person on each part of the process. This isn't my personal favorite, again, just letting you guys know. But it works. It worked for them, right? So they knew what needed to happen with the follow-up was who was involved, and everybody has their colored dot in the process. So to me, this one can get really complicated, especially when you start looking at building out ClickUp, adding more people, things like that. So we took them from this, and we're actually currently moving into even a more defined process, which I don't actually think is built yet. Yeah, it's not built yet. So, yeah, that's what they're working on right now, figuring out this client's package of what's offering and what happens when. So if you do this for your business, then you'll have the ability to know what the expectations are for you, for your client, internal, external, literally everything is on this Miro board. All right. Of course.